In this video, I'm going to show you how I change rotors and pads in a Ford F-150. Let's get started. Okay, now we're getting started. First thing you want to do is jack the vehicle up, the truck up, and support it with jack stands so it's safe to work on. And then go ahead and remove the lug nuts and tire. This, I use a 21 millimeter. Sometimes you may have to hit the edge of this a little bit to break it loose. I've already polished mine on the inside so they don't lock quite as tight on the hub. Or you may have to take the nuts loose, the lug nuts loose, and really drive around the parking lot of your driveway just a little bit. Turn the steering wheel to try to break it loose. The next thing we want to do is remove these two bolts right here so we can get the caliper off. And for that, we'll use a 13 millimeter socket. And I'll just use a pry bar to and then you'll want a place to hang it. I've got a bungee cord set up to kind of help support it. And next we'll take off these two bolts right here so we can remove this bracket. And that does take a 21 millimeter socket. And now the bracket is off, we can remove the pads. And if your rotor happens to stick, you can take a hammer and tap it on the outside and break it loose. Or you can take a 3/8 bolt and put it in these pusher holes if they're not too rusty and push it off. So, and then go ahead and take it off. And you're going to want a good clean surface here. So go ahead and clean this up good. You can use a wire wheel, hand sandpaper, whatever, but you want a good clean surface here before you put your new rotor back on. And this is just a piece of like a rod with a slot cut in it for sandpaper and a die grinder. So pretty simple. And I just use like a little Scotch-Brite. You just want to take the surface rust off. Don't remove any material from the surface. Again, just the surface here, and clean this edge up right here so your rims don't stick to it when it comes time to take them back off. And I'll spray a little brake clean on the rag and wipe all the surfaces down. And then you put a little like anti-seize type stuff. I want to have some like spray. Again, you'll want to clean both sides of your rotor with some brake clean. And I'll just put another one to help hold it in place. And again, we'll clean, take a little brake clean, put a little rag and wipe off the outside. If you're using power stop brakes, make sure you get the front passenger side on the front passenger side. Next thing, we'll need to remove the pads so we can clean up the anti-rattle clips and put the new pads in. So I'll just tap the old ones out. And one of the first things we'll do is we'll just pop out these anti-rattle pads. Just remember that little tab goes to the outside. And these two will take a little bit of tapping. And sometimes you might have to chase them down. And fortunately, these are pretty clean. So I won't have to do much cleaning on them. If they're really rusty, make sure you clean all the rust off before you put your new anti-rattle pads back in. And before we put the new clips in there, we're going to go ahead and check these boots and pins to make sure they have a good amount of grease on them. And they do, they look really good. The boots are good, so if it's not broke, don't fix it. So we'll put this back together. Slide's good, we'll slide this one out. Again, the boot looks good. Plenty of grease on the pin. We'll put it back together. If the boot was damaged, replace it. They usually have them in the kits. And again, if there's not much lubrication on the pins, be sure to lubricate your pins. And I'm just going to put a little bit of like anti-seize spray on the surfaces. And then I'm just going to tap these into place. And I got a big old nut tap on to help make sure they're seated good. There we go. Seated good, and seated good. So this one's ready to go. Okay, and next we'll go ahead and we'll put this bracket back on for the caliper. bolts back in. And then they'll get torqued. Okay, and the next thing we'll do is we'll put our new extreme pads in. Lock the bottom in first, the top, and then come around, do the same thing on the front side. And I don't have one of those nice tools to compress the caliper, so I just put a C-clamp on each side and the old brake pad in between and tighten them up to compress the caliper. You may want to take the reservoir cover off before you do this. That's up to you. But yep, I'll go ahead and tighten that up so I can, once I have that compressed, I can slip the caliper onto the pads. We're going to want the flats of these to be about parallel to each other before we put the caliper in. I'll unhook the caliper from its hanger and make sure you have those pushed in all the way. And line everything up, tap it on. Put our bolts in. And we will tighten them to 27 foot-pounds. There we go. There we go. And we'll go ahead and we'll put the wheel back on. The lug nuts on. And torque them to 150 foot-pounds in a cross pattern. And after you drive it for a while, recheck them. Thanks for watching. Please like if this was helpful and give it a thumbs up.